Born in Durham, North Carolina on December 23, 1856, James Buchanan Duke was the youngest of 4 siblings born to Washington Duke and his second wife, Artelia Rooney. At the age of 2, Duke's mother and half-brother died of typhoid fever. This loss later inspired the family and Duke himself to fund orphanages. His father, Washington, fought for the South in the Civil War. His Confederate support led to Union soldiers burning down almost all of the family farm except some tobacco crop. Because of their loss, the family turned to the tobacco crop to survive. Eventually, family profits were so prosperous that Washington sold the family farm to make a tobacco factory. In his early years, Duke attended New Garden School, but after only a semester, Duke longed for the farm work he was accustomed to and went back to work for his father. In 1874, the Duke family relocated to central Durham to establish business. This began the long-lasting feud between the Duke Company and the Blackwell & Company, producers of the Bull Durham tobacco brand. Duke later attended business school in New York City before truly working for the new family business, W. Duke & Sons. With his schooling, he tried to improve the family business and eventually became president of the company in 1880. This is where it took off. Struggling to compete with rival Southern Tobacco Company, Blackwell's Bull Durham, Duke expanded his market to cigarettes in 1881. With great success, the company expanded to New York in 1884 and founded its headquarters there. Further revolutionizing his product, Duke partnered with James Bonsack. An inventor, Bonsack created the Bonsack cigarette machine. The machine's power to roll cigarettes at more than double the rate of hand workers ignited Duke's production. Duke then began studying the marketing of surrounding New York retail stores and planned his company's own strategic advertising and similarity. Duke used the company name in support of sporting events and shows, including event coupons in his cigarette packets. He also attracted his audience with advertisement playing cards with famous faces such as baseball players, actresses, and General Ulysses S. Grant. To eliminate competition, Duke undercut competitors' prices, consolidated the Bonsack machine to his company alone, and bought out rivaling companies. Merging with his 4 main tobacco competitors, Duke founded the American Tobacco Company in 1890. The company soon expanded overseas to China and Japan and locked in a trade agreement with Great Britain. Expanding into new business ventures, the Duke family broke into the textile business, funding Irwin Cotton Mill. To gain greater control over the tobacco market, Duke managed the merger of several tobacco companies, including starting rival Blackwell. His company soon after undertook the merger company, renaming its own to the Continental Tobacco Company with Duke as president. In 1904, Duke and brother George funded the Catawba Power Company. Using hydroelectric power, the company began to help industrialize the South, mainly the Piedmont areas of where he grew up. The company, later renamed the Duke Power Company, will play a major role in Southern industry and production. Duke's father, Washington, died in 1905. With the early death of his mother, Duke and his father were very close. His passing inspired Duke to continue the philanthropy work that his father left behind, mainly in the form of education. Following his father, Duke funded Trinity College in North Carolina, later renamed Duke University. By 1906, Duke's company now controlled 90% of all tobacco sales in the United States, not including its markets overseas. In 1907, Duke married Nanaline Inman, having his first child Doris 5 years later. The family moved to Charlotte, North Carolina in 1919, where Duke began his philanthropy work. Duke then established the Duke Endowment with $40 million to fund local colleges, hospitals, orphanages, and churches. Passing away October 10, 1925, James B. Duke died at 68 years old, leaving behind a legacy, $60 million to his endowment, and $100 million to his daughter Doris. Duke's impact prolonged far after his death, with cigarettes taking the new form of vapes and Juuls today. Affecting 16 million people worldwide, Nicotine addiction, found in cigarettes, jewels, and various other forms, has touched the lives of humanity for decades. It will continue to for years to come. That is why, whether it be from small southern farms to big cities today, J.B. Duke's effect on tobacco and the world itself is by far the most influential.